Hi guys, let's do the prokaryotic cell notes. Alright, you're going to have to write small. I made the lines a little bit too small on a lot of these. Sorry about that. I will try to fix that in the future. Prokaryotes or prokaryotic cells are generally bacteria cells. Alright, they are bacteria cells that are unicellular. Una means one, cellular, obviously cell, so they're made up of one cell. They are unicellular organisms that do not have a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. They are very, very, very simplistic. Here we have a picture of a prokaryotic cell. Okay, it's very small. We have some DNA here in the nucleoid region. It's a single chromosome. We have some plasmids, some cytoplasm, and we're going to talk about what each of those are. We're going to start with the cell wall. Once again, we got to write small. Sorry about that, guys. The cell wall surrounds the plasma membrane, gives the cell shape, and prevents osmosis, which is the movement of water into the cell, or just osmosis is general movement of water across a membrane. So in this case, this would prevent too much water from entering the cell and bursting it. So it prevents water entering the cell and causing it to burst. So it gives the cell shape and prevents osmosis from bursting the cell. Alright, that's what the cell wall does. Alright, it is not the outermost region of the cell, but it's towards the outside. Okay, we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. The next piece that we're going to talk about is the plasma membrane. We just did an activity today showing the properties of that. Remember the bubble solution? The job of the plasma membrane is to surround the cell. So it surrounds the cell and regulates or controls what enters and leaves the cell. Controls what goes in and what comes out. Okay, our next piece of the prokaryotic cell is pilus, which is singular, or pili, which is plural. They're the hair-looking thingies right here. Okay, they are extensions of the plasma membrane. Extension of the plasma membrane that helps bacteria stick to surfaces and allows bacteria to exchange DNA. So bacteria are unique. They have little extra pieces of DNA, and those extra pieces of DNA can make them resistant to antibiotics or make it easier for them to replicate. It makes them better suited for their environment. So they exchange that DNA. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So the pili acts as a bridge that allows them to move from one bacteria to the other. Moving on, ribosomes. They are the little dots in the diagram. Okay, they look like this. All right, and they are the site of protein synthesis. Site of protein synthesis. It's where proteins are made. Okay, that's the whole job of the ribosome, just make proteins. Our next structure is the flagella. Now, flagella are not found on every single type of bacterial cell, okay? But a lot of them have them. They are long, whip-like projections that help the bacteria move. Okay, long whip-like projections or structures, you can use that word too, that help the bacteria move. Our next structure is the plasmid. Okay, this is where these little bits of extra DNA come from. They're plasmids. They are genes that are separate from the chromosome, which can carry antibiotic-resistant genes. So this is how some illnesses get to be antibiotic resistant. They get genes from other bacteria that make it so that the antibiotics don't work anymore. Okay, that's what antibiotic resistance means. The antibiotics can't kill it anymore. Our next one is the capsule. Okay, this is one that's also not found in all cells, but in a lot of prokaryotic cells. It's also called the slime layer. It is a sticky layer around the cell wall that enhances some bacteria's ability to cause disease. Just makes it easier for them to stick to surfaces, makes it easier for them to survive. It just adds an extra layer of protection. And our last structure that we're going to talk about tonight is the chromosome. Now, chromosomes in prokaryotic cells are different than in eukaryotic cells, which is what you and I are made of. Okay, prokaryotic cells, they have a single DNA molecule that is not enclosed in a nucleus. And it contains most of the bacteria's genes. Remember, those plasmids have a small amount, so the chromosome doesn't contain all of it, but most of it is in that chromosome. Remember, you're going to have a quiz over this tomorrow in class, so bring your notes. Remember, you can use your notes on your quizzes. So if you have any questions, let me know in class first thing tomorrow or shoot me an email.